back
My
to.
last text said to her,
Remember?
and I had no idea,
Man, let's
heaven. Go. I said, "Oh, I miss you so."
I'm gonna back this up, and I'm gonna play the whole thing, folks. And I'm sorry. This my sensibilities are a little bit different at the moment, but let's play this.
As a bestie of Joni, it has been a true honor to be able to call her that. Yes. And Rachel and Rebecca, you are going to carry on this torch so brightly, and I believe that God's going to use you in ways that you never thought possible. Amen. And you rise to the occasion, because that's what she would tell you to do, to rise up. Rise up and go forth.
I am really surprised at how calm I am at the moment. Cindy Johnson, do you have any children? Are you a mother? Because I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. You have just carried on the Daystar false narrative that succession can just be decreed. And you've just decreed that you two daughters are going to carry on like, oh, never before, and rise up and rise up. Cindy Johnson, shame on you, because you have just absolutely illustrated Lifton's 8th criterion, the dispensing of existence. Are you not a mother? I mean, I'm be surprised that you don't have any children. And you have just completely dispensed with the existence of Jonathan Lamb, Susie Lamb, and their children. And you go on and on and on about the great friend that Joni was. And you know what? I'm sure she could be very friendly when she wanted to, and how nice she could be. And you've known her for 35 years. Did you know her when she went into the department store and made fun of Jeanette Hawkins? Were you there? Did you offer any feedback, any correction? And Cindy, I got it. Like, when I'm listening to all you ladies on Table Talk, one thing that occurred to me is that when you think about it, it's all beta personalities. It's all personalities that agree. You know, there's something about truth that comes from a friend, even if it hurts, is true. Cindy, I'm just going to make the assumption that you're a mom. Maybe you're not. I don't know. And I don't know. But Cindy, did you not ever talk to your friend and say, Joni, what are you doing? If you've already bought the whole thing about the marriage to Doug and all that, okay, I'll leave that alone for this discussion. Did it never occur to you to say, Joni, you can't treat your son this way? But see, this video is just proof for the world to see of the yes culture, the cover of, I'll tell you what it is. It's proof of cultic behavior running this supposed ministry. You couldn't correct your friend, and then you go on a program to honor, and according to script, you talk to the two daughters as though it's a foregone conclusion. And as bad as that is, and see, here's the thing. Well, it is a foregone conclusion because the board decided about the two daughters. Well, honey, dear, somebody will get mad. Sweet cheeks, why didn't you say so? If the board decided that, why didn't you say so? Because what you're doing is you're participating in the continuation of this false family church business dynasty empire narrative that somebody can just decree what's going to happen with a corporation that is a 501c3 and can raise tax-free monies and loan it out at will and lose $25 million of it at will without really telling the public about it. And you're participating. And Cindy, I'm just going to say, shame on you and all of you weak women. I thought women are supposed to be strong. All of you women that can't speak your own mind. Who is that gray-haired guy that got delivered out alcohol in Cincinnati think he is? I'm just saying it like we all see it. And what you're doing though is you're setting it up so that you can lob this softball over the plate for here. You'll see what I mean when I play this.
God has known this, and he knows that you two are going to carry on. And we say, thank you, Jesus, for the time that we've had with Joni. But as my last text said to her, and I had no idea that she'd be going to heaven.
See, there she is. See, I don't blame Cindy for this. She's talking about the last text that she sent. She doesn't even know if Joni saw it or Joni read it, but she never says anything about a text that Joni sent from her. So the lie that is in the title, that's on Daystar, not on Cindy particularly.
I said, oh, I miss you so much. I cannot wait to see your beautiful smile very soon.
Wow.
And that was the last text that I had, and I will see her. I hope not real soon, but I will see her in that beautiful face again.
Yeah,
so thank you, Rachel, for sharing your mom with us.
Oh, well, she loved you so much. She had the most fun with you. She loved playing all the games, Rook, Monopoly Deal, all the different ones. Thank you for being her friend.
Thank you.
I'm going to back that up and then stop it. And folks, I'm sorry. Maybe it's good cop, bad cop. I understand why my dear sister and friend Laura Lynn would stay silent today. So maybe I'm the bad cop, but I will say, unfortunately, folks, what you're listening to and what you're looking at on the screen right now is everything that is wrong with the whole notion of the family church empire dynasty business. It's got to go. It's absolutely got to go. Now, I don't know if they made changes to the board structure and added a few board seats. That could be, they just put Arnold on the board. But if they haven't done that and there's a real board, the board has a fiduciary responsibility, and we'll see what they do. I'm going to get through this material. I was so, yep. So let me just go through this. Maybe I'll try to reduce my amount of commentary. And so I'm going to play this. Let me just jump in. Here we go.
Recently, I heard a podcast by Laura Lynn, really encouraging those that knew the truth to come forward. And I was convicted deep in my heart because I know some truth that needs to be brought forward. My name is Denise Boggs. I was a friend of the Lamb family. And I want to tell you what happened just 2 days before Marcus passed. I received a call. And the call was him on the other line. He had one of his girls to dial my number. And he said, Miss Denise, I need you to write some things down for me. I said, okay, Marcus, I'll be glad to. And he said, Joni and I have built Daystar, but I really believe it's time for me to say that we built it so the children could carry it on. And I said, okay.
So I'll stop right there. And I'm gonna, y'all, I'm just really being laid back here. I just happened to see this comment from Marla. And Marla, why worrying so much about who continues at Daystar? God gave to Joni time to repent. Well, yeah, that's true, Marla. Here's the thing. I don't know if Daystar is going to continue or not going to continue. It's not going to hurt my feelings either way. I love and care about my brother Jonathan and my sister Susie, and God's going to take care of them no matter what. But here's the thing. If Daystar does continue, it's engaged in an awful lot of wickedness and idolatry. And it only got worse after so many people left. And so it would certainly be my hope that it either, if there's not going to be a real reformer, take it over, like Jonathan would be, I believe. But if there's somebody's not going to really, really gut, I know people that flip houses. They buy distressed houses and they sell them, but the ones that know what they're doing, they go in and they gut it. They get down to the studs. They get down. Okay, if somebody isn't going to do that, I really hope the place gets bulldozed. So what happens to Daystar, whether we like it or not? It exists, Marla. It does exist. And it's sort of a flagship that is sort of iconic of what is wrong with especially Pentecostal charismatic Christianity in America. So anyway, let me get back to the clip. I just wanted to address that. I hope that helps.
Okay. And he said, did you write that down? I said, yes. And then he said, well, first of all, there's our son, Jonathan, and he would be the first one that needs to step in and carry things on. He's the first lamb. And then there's his wife, Susie. She took his name, Susie Lamb, and she'll be beside him to support him. I said, okay. And then he said, and then there's Rachel Lamb Brown. And she will be beside him on the other side, helping him to keep everything going. And I need to make sure now you're writing it down. Yes, Marcus, I'm writing it down. And then he said, then there's Rebecca Lamb Weiss. And she will be like on the other side, like Aaron and her, holding up Jonathan's arms. And her husband, Jonathan Wise, will be alongside her to help her. Are you writing that down? He said. I said, yes, Marcus, I'm writing it down. And so when he finished, I knew he had left someone out, but I did not say anything. And I knew that there was some deep pain because of what had happened in the family. And I knew that that's probably why he did not mention Joshua Brown. But I did not question him on that. This was his time to speak from his heart and not be controlled or manipulated in any way. And I said, okay, I've got it all written down. And he said, okay, thank you. You make sure it gets where it needs to go. I said, okay, I will. And so he hung up the phone, or he had someone else to hang it up. And then I did submit it to different family members. I told Joni about it. I told Rachel and I told Rebecca about what had happened. So they all knew.
All right, folks, I'm going to just try to say this, and this is a little bit kind of impromptu, but so you have to decide. You don't have to, but you are encouraged to decide. Do you believe Miss Denise Boggs? Is she telling the truth? Is she lying? I believe Miss Denise Boggs. I believe that this is what happened, and I believe that she's accurately telling it. Now, that being said, that is evidence, testimonial evidence of someone's intentions and desires, the intentions and desires of Marcus Lamb. I think it would also strongly infer that Marcus Lamb believed that he could decree who would be his successor of the 501c3. He didn't have the right to do that, but he believed that he did. Miss Denise Boggs may have believed that he did. Joni Lamb may be of that same belief. That's something that we're wrestling with. But then that leads us to the next thing. She said that she clearly communicated that to Joni Lamb. And if she communicated that to Joni Lamb, then these words from Joni Lamb to a worldwide audience were a lie. If you want to donate to Ohio for Freedom, you can go to our website, ohioforfreedom.com/donate, PayPal, bank card, Zelle. Our P.O. Box is 344 Mason, Ohio. And folks, I'm going to quit right on time. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. I hear the sweet sound